Hello, iSamuelii here. I am doing a video response to somebody that made a comment on my video pertaining to the Pledge of Allegiance, the short history of it. In that video, the short history of the Pledge of Allegiance, the source I took it from was this magazine right here. It was specifically an article titled "A Pledge Too Far." It was about Ricky Sherman versus his school district, and of course the Pledge of Allegiance with the God reference to it, an atheist fighting it. Well, this entire article started on page 10 of this magazine and ended up on page 26. So it wasn't a short article. And as I'll click through here, here's page 10, the start of the pledge, or the article called "A Pledge Too Far." And within this pledge, it gives a brief description of the history of it. And a person making the comment in the other video was saying that this is a very well documented case, PBS done stories on it, so forth. Of course it is. It's a very controversial case, went to the Supreme Court, so forth. It would fall on those lines. But he's relating something to the threats that the Jehovah's Witnesses actually faced afterwards. Yes, they did face it, and it's covered from here. Starting at this one first posted on the page, the first column. It goes on, I highlight a few points. I'm not actually going to read. I don't want to make this a long drawn out thing. And over here on the second page in the bottom, I highlighted a little area, which is right here. It doesn't show up too well in this, but it definitely discusses the problems the Jehovah's Witnesses faced after this decision. I mean, the family itself, people in the area were boycotting the man's business. In a retail business, that's pretty much saying, get the hell out of here. Anyhow, my point of the pledge history video was just to give an accurate history of how it was formed, how it came about, and a couple of changes along the way. It wasn't an in-depth on the entire Pledge of Allegiance. It was just a history of the Pledge of Allegiance. Who created it? A magazine, a marketing ploy. And you take it away with this attitude you got nowadays, like the Founding Fathers must have created this Pledge of Allegiance. It's just overboard. This insane patriotism grown out of things. It's all in your imagination. It was a marketing ploy from a magazine trying to sell flags and put in one in every schoolhouse, every classroom. That's all it was. That's the origin of the Pledge of Allegiance. And I didn't want to get into depth of every little problem that came along the way. You know, if you got a little problem with my lack of detail on it, I think I was very detailed enough on the initial intent of the video, was to show a history of the origin of the Pledge of Allegiance that people have gone overboard in patriotism with. It's crazy. And there was no God in the original one. This is the magazine it came from. Original source, the American Atheist. The story was about Ricky Sherman. It wasn't about the Pledge of Allegiance. It was part of the story because that's what the battle was in the school district. Gave a little history of it. That's what I took out of it. Just the history of it. You're not happy with that? Make your own video. Okay? Here's every page of it. Page 10 to 26. A couple of pages here dealing with the problems that the Jehovah's Witnesses faced through, during, and after their court trial. And the result of it, with the addition of the Red Scare and so forth, in God was placed into the pledge, where it never was originally. People want to talk about revisionist history. There you go. Alter something to fit somebody's imagination.